Dr. Pearl will be playing Les Feuilles Mortes, Autumn Leaves, first known, and then transmogrified by Miles Davis. It made me think of an extraordinary novel, which if you read in school is now time to reread. If you've never read, it's time to read for the first time. It's a novel of a time like ours, The Plague by Albert Camus from 1947. It's the story of the bubonic plague arriving in a small city on the Algerian coast during the French occupation of Algeria. And it talks about the experiences of people there. The narrator and central figure is a physician, Dr. Bernard Rieu, and we see over the course of the novel any of a number of people, some venal and corrupt, some extraordinarily kind and heroic, and because plagues are non-discriminating, some of each survive and some of each succumb. Eventually, Rieu gets the health authorities and the governmental authorities to listen to his worries, his warnings, and the plague is eventually defeated. This is near the end of the novel. And indeed, as he listened to the cries of joy rising from the town, Rieu remembered that such joy is always imperiled. He knew what those jubilant crowds did not know, but could have learned from books, that the plague bacillus never dies or disappears for good, that it can lie dormant for years and years in furniture and linen chests, that it bides its time, waiting to return. But he also knew that there was in human beings more to admire than to despise. Maya Angelou reflects on this same notion in her poem A Brave and Startling Truth, which, by the astrophysicist Carl Sagan's encouragement, was actually placed on the Voyager spacecraft that eventually launched from our solar system into parts unknown. We, this people, on this small and drifting planet, whose hands can strike with such abandon that in a twinkling life is sapped from the living, yet those same hands can touch with such healing, irresistible tenderness, that the haughty neck is happy to bow, and the proud back is glad to bend. Out of such chaos, out of such contradiction, we learn that we are neither devils nor divines.
Hello and welcome to our fourth segment of American Creativity, Ingenuity, and Diversity. In this segment, I'd like to demonstrate how European music has been transformed into great American music. There was a Hungarian-French composer named Joseph Kosma who wrote a very beautiful piece in 1945, and my French is terrible, but I'll try to say it. It's along the lines of Les feuilles mortes, but anyway, it means the dying leaves. And The Dying Leaves was basically a popular composition in France in particular, and then it made its way over to America and ended up becoming rewritten and retranslated as Autumn Leaves, which is so well known. It fits the season of our meeting, so I wanted to be sure to include it in the meeting. I'd like to play Autumn Leaves, and then I would like to go into the very famous solo on this piece done by Miles Davis. Miles Davis recorded this with my favorite piano player, Bill Evans, who I'll talk about in another segment. And this is the Miles Davis solo that's on the Kind of Blue album, which is the #1 selling album for jazz in the world. I transcribed the solo myself by listening to Miles play it and put it down on paper. And so I'll go ahead and play Autumn Leaves and then go into the Miles Davis solo and then back to the theme Autumn Leaves, which really comes from a Hungarian-French composer who wrote The Dying Leaves.